What's going on, gamers? So this is a video that did not think I'd be doing right now. But with Sony's track record, it doesn't surprise me. Can you guys believe this? Look at this. Until Dawn developer reportedly cancels Blade Runner game set for PlayStation 6 next Xbox. First known PS6 game getting canceled is fitting. That's crazy to me. We're going to talk about this. This is something interesting to focus on. So you would think that if you hear anything, about the next PlayStation, that it wouldn't be anything to do with canceling a game. Oh my God, does the curse carry over that far? Is Concord affecting PlayStation 6 development? Yeah. So let's get into this. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk about something else too, which is pretty interesting. But going over here, the article clicks over here on Eurogamer. So it says, Until Dawn developer reportedly cancels Blade Runner game set for PlayStation 6. Hit the Deckard. Supermassive Games, as we know, those are people that did Until Dawn. So it's people that worked with Sony for the longest, and they just did the Until Dawn movie, which, once again, I'm like, wait, why are you wasting resources on that? You should be focusing on more video game development because that's just, to me, seems dumb. Just like the Until Dawn remasters, like unneeded. But that's what they've been doing this whole generation, right? Unneeded remasters. So Supermassive Games, known for releases such as Until Dawn and The Quarry, yeah, they've done that as well too, has reportedly canceled an unannounced Blade Runner game. The project was titled Blade Runner Time to Live. And according to Inside Gaming, it was going to be a character focused cinematic action adventure release. It's Sony. Poised to be launched across PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X, as well as on next generation Xbox and PlayStation systems. Reportedly, it was a single player game slated for a 2027 debut. So this is interesting because this makes you think that, wait, hold on. So it's PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox coming out in 2027? Or were those games were just getting crossplay support and that's when that was happening and they were coming right after that? That's interesting, huh? Let's see. The report claims that players would be the only Blade Runner in 2065, and the game's campaign will feature a 10 to 12 hour compelling story, which would blend the philosophical themes of Blade Runner with kinetic action adventure gameplay. Hmm. I love the Blade Runner movies. I think Ridley Scott does them, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, Phenomenal movies. Harrison Ford, all that good stuff. The story would see players taking on the role of Solange, the report states. Solange, or Lange, is a vintage model Nexus 6, inexplicably still alive where beyond your limited lifespan. Also, that's the Blade Runner we're going to be applying on. And I think, and if we think about the setting of 2065, it's probably going to be something with advanced technology. Documentation seen by Inside Gaming reads Journey from the teeming undercity of New Zurich 2065 to the eerie remnants of the forgotten world beyond. Under orders to retire, Rev, the mysterious and ruthless leader of an underground replicant network, you are betrayed and left for dead in a brutally hostile environment. Hmm. I wonder if they're working on that next Matrix game, or was that just a tech demo to show up on Unreal Engine 5, which obviously needed way more work. So yeah, this is interesting. This is the game that we're supposed to be getting for next gen. Blade Runner Time to Live was said to have entered pre-production in September 2024. Okay. With pre-production then expected to wrap up in March 2025. The end of prototyping, meanwhile, was set for this September. Okay, so they didn't get too far into it. It was still in pre-production. On the cost of things, Blade Runner Time to Live development budget was reported to be in the region of 45 million, with 9 million of this expected to cover external performance capture and acting talent. Oh, so this was going to be like a maybe a AAA type of game. Hmm. The game was ultimately canceled reportedly towards the end of last year. As to why, that's allegedly due to Alcon Entertainment, who is the owner of the Blade Runner rights, although no further details were provided at this time. While we may never know what could have been, according to the one source, Blade Runner Time to Live was rather impressive. Next up from Supermassive Games will be the longer-awaited Dark Pictures anthology. Oh, I like that series. Directive 8020. This one is set in space, features Bond and Marvel's star Lashana Lynch, and has been in development for some time. Okay, so we got some comments here. Let's see what people have to say. As a huge fan of both films, this bloody well sucks. I would have to say so. I think when I'm thinking of Blade Runner, it could have been something more epic, but I guess not. As a huge fan of both films, we have been spared. Most of their work is pretty cheesy and not really on the same level as the vibe as Blade Runner, but perhaps they may have surprised, like Blooper with Silent Hill 2 remake. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, but you never know. That's a shame. Blade Runner is all-time favorite film of mine. I would have liked to have seen a new narrative-driven game. Yeah, considering how long the Blade Runner movies are too, they're like 3 hours and 30 minutes long. I didn't think that they would make a short game. You know what I mean? I was thinking this game will probably be definitely longer than that, but who knows? You know, I adore the original Blade Runner film, but I don't think a game is really needed. I never felt like there was more that needed be said that the film didn't already say. I hope Supermassive staffs are unaffected, and hopefully they can reuse some of their work in an original Cyberpunk game or something. It'll never happen, but I thought that Deus Ex setting was quite compelling and would be a good setting for a single player narrative choice. Yeah, you know what? I kind of feel the same way about what they're saying because I think if you're gonna do something like this, it needs to kind of be like Game of Thrones epic. It's the same thing like if you're doing a Game of Thrones game. These games need to be epic. And if you're not gonna do it, then cancel it before it gets too crazy and you waste too much money on a game like this. Definitely if you're kind of going down the ballpark with some partnership with Sony, which I kind of feel like that would be happening with this game because it's a movie type aspect, and that they would have some marketing rights, and some other stuff going on. But I guess that ended up getting canceled, right? So yeah, there we have it on this type of subject. So going back over here, Oblivion hits 205,000 on Steam today, and I think it may be a little bit higher. What we could do is we could just go to Steam CCU. This is where you'll find it at, y'all. Because we also have Expedition 33 as well. 205,000, yeah, it hit a new peak. Very nice, right? So we see like Game Pass games getting up here, but it's like, where are the PlayStation games? I don't really see them. They do not seem to exist. Nope, they're not here. And by the way, as I told people, Bethesda is still independent. So like if I move this out the way, you see it says publisher Bethesda Softworks. They still have their independency. That's what I'm saying. So this is still published by Bethesda. They have a semi-independent contract that they signed with Microsoft. So if they want to go a multi-platform, they're going to let them. So they're kind of doing this method anyways. But the idea here is people saying, because this is more proof that if you put your games on Game Pass, because Game Pass is available on PC, right? This is something I get to add in. But why is it that Game Pass is available on PC, but there's 205,000 people online that were playing? It's already sold 1 million on PC by itself. Because there's a modding community too. You see what I'm saying here? And I've explained this to people. It's that library. The 360 to the Xbox One was a carryover, right? The PlayStation 3 to the PS4 was kind of a carryover to a certain extent. PC has always been carryover digital forever. So because you now put the Xbox app on there, that does not mean that it's going to cannibalize sales on PC. No, 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 no. If people want to buy the game, they're going to buy the game. This is another example. Same thing happened with Starfield and other games. They want to buy it for their Steam profile. PlayStation users want to buy it for the PlayStation profile. And when the Switch 2 comes, they're going to want to buy it for the carryover, right? When you have that, there's nothing you can do to get them to move for that profile. That's going to be very hard unless they're the type that likes to support everything while continuing with multiple different profiles. Like I continue with my Xbox profile on my PC. I continue with my PlayStation profile consistently. I'm continuing with my Nintendo profile. And I have my PC profile. You know what I mean? Then you have people that are only on one. And they only want to support that profile. Here's an example right here. You see? This right here shows you that the people that wake up every day, as I tell people, and I have to keep reinstating this so new people can get this too. When you're waking up on PC, you're waking up to what almost 100 million install base between Steam, Epic, GOG, and people on the Xbox app. And then you got 100 plus million in the Switch ecosystem, 121 million, they said, 129 million recently. PlayStation, 100 plus million between their consoles. That's pretty much almost 400 million between those consoles that wake up every day and look at something and say if they want it, they're going to buy it, right? Whereas in the Xbox ecosystem, it's like 30 million consoles sold or 31, 32, right? And out of that, how many people are actually online? It's a very, very small niche. So Game Pass will not kill sales on other platforms. It can only do that on the own console base, which is, a niche console base now. So that mentality is just not going to work anymore. And congratulations on the Elder Scrolls success. I'm currently waiting on the video drivers and more optimizations to get back into it because I'm a little bit annoyed. I have a problem with Unreal Engine 5, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people do too. It just has too much optimization issues, too much demands that should not be there, making you think you need this, but you don't really need that because the engine was not finished. But they're supposed to be coming out with a huge update this year that kind of launches it to where it starts performing like the Unreal Engine 4 did when it was more optimized, that Lumen update. And I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be more easier on developers. We can get more finished games because I see games that where it's like the developer did what they're supposed to do and they made a good game, but it's suffering because they chose the Unreal Engine 5. And that annoys the hell out of me. So, yeah, that's my thing. Let me know what y'all think about the canceled stuff. When it comes to canceling, looks like Sony's not escaping that, right? And a company that, when you think about Until Dawn and some of those games that were exclusive to PlayStation, kind of like teamed up with Sony, are now canceling their next gen games. So hopefully we don't see any more cancels. If we do, hopefully it's not from the PlayStation world. But I think it may be fair game, and maybe Marathon may have to go free to play to survive. But I don't think we're done here, y'all. I think a lot of mistakes are going to pop up again. So let me know what y'all think about this. And yeah, we can enjoy this right here too, right? This goes to show you people care about Microsoft games on PC. Yeah, what a surprising new game is popular. Using Steam numbers because nobody plays on Xbox. That's not the point, bro. We were trying to point out something here. But yeah. All right, y'all. Like, I'm subscribed. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great day. Hopefully we can get some intel about games not being canceled, right? Peace out, gamers. Ponies, sit down.